Goulart, Veneer.
Welcome.
It is my privilege.
It's my pleasure. Your nose isn't bleeding.
Should it be?
It's the height. It has that effect on most people.
I am not most people. I am Boulard.
A clean nose is always a good omen.
An old Hopi expression. Ah, the Hopi. A nearly dead culture, but they sure play some great music.
I didn't know.
You do.
I feel we can learn a great deal from each other.
I'll lend you my tapes if you like. It gives me great strength, these cries and rhythms of the ancient Hopi people. I like to listen to them while I play with my snakes. I achieve a state where I can bite their heads without flinching. Pleases the palate as it toughens the spirit. It makes my board meetings seem like a breeze.
Well, to each his own. I personally like a good tussle with my prize pit bulls, and when I get the whim, I just bite off a ball or two.
Sounds delightful.
Well, you must try it sometime, if just for the taste alone. There's nothing quite like them.
Rather addictive, I've heard. Like pistachios.
I wouldn't know.
Besides the tawdry sense of power it must give you, why have you chosen to conduct your affairs at this unheard-of height?
For the view.
But there is no view.
Precisely. Birds suffocate at this height, but the imagination is free to soar without distraction.
I prefer the total silence of the bunker myself. There's nothing quite as exhilarating as plunging into the bowels of the dark and peaceful earth. Not to mention that in case of any nuclear disaster, I can continue with whatever profits might be left.
We must keep in touch if ever that does happen. I'll be in orbit, actually. The whole office is shot into the sky if radiation levels reach the critical point.
Ah, the apocalypse. How beautiful the universe would be, Veneer. Just you and I and the hum of ticker tape.
You forget my wife and children.
That's right. You do have a family. How frivolous, a diversion for only the idlest of minds.
It is the only real joy of civilization.
I have no interest in civilization. Humans only tend to get in the way. My world is one of numbers.
You were a pig.
You are a turd.
Good.
Excellent. Shall we proceed?
I thought we had. First and foremost, it must be big.
I took that as a given.
Huge, immense, awe-inspiring.
Big, 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 and inexpensive.
That goes without saying.
Good.
It just can't look inexpensive.
That's why it must be of such size that the buyer is staggered by it.
Top of the line.
We can't lose sight of the profit margin.
It is the watchword of my faith.
Has to be universal.
You mean specific?
No, I mean universal.
It is only through the specific that we achieve the universal.
If it is universal, every buyer will create his own specifics depending on his needs and genotype.
We're talking about the same thing.
You can never be too sure.
Different schools, different educations, that's our problem.
In the end, Veneer, there's really only one school. The marketplace.
Absolutely.
That is why it is imperative that it is able to regenerate itself.
Spawning whole new lines of other products that appear totally different but are exactly the same as the original. Which reminds me, we mustn't forget originality.
Nothing is original. It's all cliches. Originals don't sell.
An original cliche, Will.
What the hell is an original cliche?
It's a product that makes you buy it when you see it because it reminds you that you need it, because it makes you feel like you forgot it, so you've got to buy it so you'll stop feeling guilty about forgetting it.
Seems feasible.
I think we're making real headway.
Great men have a way of becoming greater.
For the good of all.
Who said that?
We did.
Yeah. I think that will make a perfect quote for the packaging.
The man who can make the perfect package can rule the world.
It's just within our grasp. I think it can be best achieved by creating the illusion of stillness while maintaining the reality of motion.
You surely jest. It is the illusion of motion that catches the eye, while the reality of stillness assures that the purchase will be made. This has been proven.
We've reached an impasse.
A minor one. Shouldn't cause us any trouble.
There's always so much that can be hidden away in the language.
I find little use for language.
Figures.
But of course, my dear Bolar, but of course, we haven't time for petty bickering. Let's leave these minor details for our lawyers to waste their time on.
Pimps.
And language is their horror.
We have much more important things to discuss than the product.
And in the end, the product is trivial, beside the point.
Product is an anachronism of a free economy.
Simply a matter of design and implementation.
We're in agreement then that the production costs must be kept to the barest minimum. I assume you're ready to do whatever it takes to achieve that goal.
Why else would I be breathing? I'll move whole neighborhoods if I have to.
A neighborhood is nothing. They're completely disposable. I moved whole tribes, cultures, civilizations in the name of a hefty markup.
Like the job you did for Union Carbide, the Bhopal, India fiasco.
Fiasco? What fiasco?
3,000 dead.
I prefer to call it downsizing. Besides, it put Union Carbide on the map forever. The public easily forgets the disasters, but a company logo lingers on in their memory.
I work on a subtler plane than that. Lasers, viruses, seemingly natural disasters. I'm very efficient.
But you have no visibility. Bad publicity is great publicity. That's how I got where I am today. Why else would you have called me?
I think we both must be flexible on this issue. With the proper blending of our expertise, we will be invincible.
We shall make labor pools a thing of the past.
I already have an auto assembly plant in operation in Sri Lanka that is supervised by a pair of orangutans.
Clever. I've been working with insects myself. I've been getting outstanding performances out of lice. Here, let me show you.
That won't be necessary. It's time we got down to the real issues that face us. The transfers, the consolidations, the liquidations.
Yes.
The lateral and vertical movement. The stocks, the options, the bonds, the mergers of every size, shape, and description. The entrepreneurial splendor of it all.
We will be the basis of the world economy. There will be only one world currency, and it will be ours. Our faces will adorn all legal tender.
That is why we must be absolutely certain that this restructuring reflects the interests of all and the morality of none.
Morality? Why even bother to use the word? It can't be written off.
You do have a way with words.
I like the way you think.
Veneer and Bilar. I like the sound of that.
What?
Veneer and Bilar.
Boulard and Veneer has a much better ring to it, I think.
We'll see.
Yes, we will, won't we?
My friend, seems rather silly to quibble now, after we've come so far.
Besides, the stakes just aren't high enough.
They will be soon enough.
Yes, we'll see to that.
Then we can have a real fight.
Total control.
Total control. God, I get excited just thinking about it. That's why we get along so well. We both so love the sight of blood.
You gotta hear the balls crunching and see the blood spilling, or the deal just isn't worth it.
We keep our wits about it. This deal could be historic.
We'll reshape the definition of business.
In Webster's, it will read, business, Veneer and Bilar.
Boulard and Veneer, my friend. Boulard and Veneer.
Now, what else do we need to discuss before we draw up the papers?
I would like to know what my partner is made of.
It's all in my portfolio.
Everybody looks good on paper. It's the flesh that concerns me. I must know the flesh that I'm dealing with. You know what I mean. I must know what your flesh is made of, Veneer. I must know if you've got the balls for a deal like this.
My balls? What's that got to do with anything? Balls are nothing. I can buy all the balls I need. I'm wearing a set that I just purchased from a 16-year-old native buck that I met in the jungles of Hidalgo. They're like grapefruits. Would it help if you took a good long look?
It won't be necessary. I'm satisfied.
I can pick you up there if you like.
No, mine are just fine, thank you. They never let me down.
Suit yourself. Women weep uncontrollably when they see them.
Women worship mine.
Good God, man. Where the hell did you get a gold scrotum?
The only one of its kind. Women just love to suck on it.
I can see why. Makes my mouth water.
I would consider it an honor if you would let me purchase you a larger one for those pendulous globes that you carry, as a gesture of my good faith.
Thank you, but no.
You don't know what you're missing. It never itches. It's cool to the touch. I could have it engraved for you.
Well, thank you for your very generous offer, but I'm really quite happy with my own.
You must let me give you something. I insist, whatever you wish. Money, of course, is no object.
All right, then. Should we dance?
What?
You know, dance.
You mean dance?
Yes. Yes. One quick, light-hearted dance.
Just the two of us.
The gift I treasure most.
You can't be serious.
You said anything.
I'm not much of a dancer.
Now, don't be a tease.
I do believe you're getting out of line.
All's fair.
But this is business.
Precisely. So dance with me, Boulard. A few quick turns around the floor and I will be eternally grateful.
There's no music.
I shall hum.
You are a strange man, Veneer.
These are strange times, Boulard. La 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 la.
You're quite a dancer.
That suit you're wearing, it's quite stunning. So soft to the touch.
Yes. My pride and joy comes from the Pachula Indians. I ran across them in the remote wilderness of New Guinea. A small tribe. Laughed a lot. Quiet people. Worship ticks.
They make excellent apparel.
I've never felt this way before.
How do you feel?
Giddy. Delightfully giddy. Sublimely giddy.
I am in the throes of ecstasy.
Please, don't stop.
I am your slave. Now you must tell me what I can give to you.
You already have been too kind.
It will pain me if you do not let me give unto you a token of my respect and gratitude. Let me make you happy.
If it is your wish, Veneer, then I would like your beautiful and exceptional wife's clitoris served on a bed of tender young snow peas with just a touch of aged rice wine.
The deal is off. I will not mutilate my wife for your perverse pleasure.
It's not for me. It's for Navarro.
The Navarro?
The one and only.
You mean the Grand Chef Navarro who lives on the island of Tantavar, just off the coast of Malagar?
Have you been there?
Twice. But he didn't feel like cooking.
He usually doesn't. A chef of his stature has that option.
He's an extraordinary man. He's been given whole estates just for a taste of one of his desserts. I've heard that when the spirit or an inordinate credit line moves him, his feasts are as close as one can come to heaven.
I met a man who said that Navarro once served him a course that you had to fuck before you ate. The resulting taste changed his life. He's now an archbishop.
Navarro weighs over 500 pounds. It takes a great deal to move him.
That's why I asked for such a lurid gift. I have no doubt it will inspire Navarro into culinary spectacle.
For a feast of Navarros, I would go so far as to sacrifice my wife and children if that's what it would take.
You must join me. We will dine together. We can iron out all the details over a feast of delicacies.
What an absolutely exquisite idea.
We'll fly to Basel. My surgeon resides there. While he operates on your wife, I'll have him replace all of our bodily fluids with adolescent juices. Our palates will be cleansed and ready for Navarro.
By dessert, we should have cornered the market.
That goes without saying.
I have underestimated your genius. Forgive me.
I have underestimated your nobility. Forgive me.
It's been a pleasure.
Orgasmic.
But the best is yet to come.
Let's not waste a second.
My car is waiting. We'll pick up your wife on the way.
My plane sits ready for takeoff.
As it should be.
After you. Is there something we've forgotten?
Are they really the size of grapefruits?
See for yourself.
Good Lord.
The power and the glory.
I'm overcome. May I touch?
Only if I may touch yours.
I insist.
After you, Bolar.
After you, Veneer.
It's a deal.
It's a deal.